I feel like the end of every year puts everyone into a reflective mood as we look back what we did or meant to do, so why not do the same with what we played and what we should be playing next? That's why now is the perfect time to scroll through your game library, yes, the giant backlog we all pretend that doesn't exist, and find something that can wrap up the year on a high note. And honestly, nothing beats that feeling of, I reinstalled this on a whim and holy hell, it is truly incredible now. Between long-awaited patches, surprise updates, community overhauls, and hype for upcoming sequels, several older titles have quietly become some of the best experiences you can revisit today. So if you want something familiar yet surprisingly fresh to dive back into, here are 8 games you should absolutely reinstall before 2025 ends.
Yes, we all know that Cyberpunk 2077 had a bad launch, mostly due to the lack of polish and the avalanche of bugs on consoles. But another silent villain was sabotaging the game back then, the player's own hype over it. That is something extremely common in the gaming industry. We all get too excited sometimes, I get it. And it can make even a good game crash under unrealistic expectations. So that is exactly why now is the best moment to revisit Cyberpunk 2077. The game is finally in the shape we wanted at launch, and more importantly, completely free from hype. It is the time to relive V's journey with fresh eyes and realize just how strong the RPG underneath really is.
I always like to say that it is never too late to start playing a Monster Hunter game, especially when we are talking about Monster Hunter Rise. Not only is this many players' peak comfort Monster Hunter, including myself, but all of its final updates have already been released, leaving the game polished and pretty powered up in terms of content. So you can literally jump in and play non-stop without waiting for new monsters, events, and so on. Add to that a strong and passionate player base that is still going strong. The hype for Monster Hunter Wilds give a bit of help with that. And a nice number of online guides, so if you are a struggling newbie or a player that enjoys a bit of guidance, help is literally everywhere.
I know it may feel intimidating at first to revisit or even try for the first time a game as dense and content-packed as Warframe, but trust me, now is the perfect time. The main reason for that is that its developer, Digital Extremes, spent the past year making the game significantly more friendly overall, introducing big system revamps, new content, reworks, roadmap changes, and massive newcomer improvements. All these changes made its community buzz pretty out loud again, and as a veteran player at this wild multiplayer experience, I can safely say the game feels the best it has in years and an amazing co-op title to jump into with friends.
Borderlands 4 arrived and successfully brought back the franchise's classic chaotic charm, making fans happy again, including me. But funnily enough, conversations around it only reminded everyone how timeless Borderlands 2 truly is. I have played it 3 times already, and it somehow gets better every single run, especially its story, something the series struggles with nowadays. And, of course, Handsome Jack, one of the best villains in the gaming universe, simply because you love to hate him. Add in the incredible humor, some of the best Vault Hunters ever, Gauge Supremacy, of course, insane weapon variety, amazing side quests, and the still iconic co-op chaos. And yeah, this one absolutely deserves a reinstallation. One of my favorite gaming subgenres has to be horror with laughs with some friends and beer, and the main culprit is definitely Phasmophobia, which somehow gets more fun and scarier every single year. That is thanks to the endless efforts of the developers at Kinetic Games, who seem to have incorporated a Revenant since they keep aggressively adding updates that deeply expand the game's content, gameplay depth, and even overall pacing. And this year was no different. The game received a bunch of updates, such as the console update, redesigned maps, new ghost types, and difficulty overhauls, an entire pack that has made Phasmophobia scarier and honestly sharper than ever, meaning it is a different experience now, even more friendly to new players. With the newest chapters of Deltarune dropping this year, I once again felt the urge to return to Undertale for one more run, and somehow it still surprised me, even if I had already finished it about 5 times in the past. From its writing to its soundtrack to the emotional gut punches that hit even when you already know every twist, Undertale is the kind of experience where you will discover something new each time, whether it is a huge detail or a tiny moment. For me, it is also the experience that leaves me with a smile from beginning to end, being a true comfort title. Oh, and if you return to Undertale after a few years, it genuinely feels like playing it for the first time again, because its small details are what really matter. And that is the magic surrounding Toby Fox's game, and why it remains one of the best-selling indies ever. Even though it was already pretty massive at launch, it doesn't seem that Larian Studios will stop supporting Baldur's Gate 3 with new, shiny stuff, since the past 2 years have brought huge patches, performance upgrades, ending and quest tweaks, expanded app blogs, and tons of new role-playing options. Yes, I know you were thinking about the Dark Urge. To the RPG, there was so much content that for anyone who only finished the 1.0 version, the game is practically a brand new experience now, full of fresh possibilities, and even better pacing and new storytelling paths. To be honest, I feel that Baldur's Gate 3 in 2025 is even better than its original launch version, especially since Larian has proved its commitment to the project. They didn't just ride the hype, they literally continued to take care of the game, to turn it into something even richer and more mature. We are all pretty excited that GTA 6 is slowly approaching. And this is the perfect moment to try to forget about it and mitigate our anxiety by revisiting another masterpiece made by Rockstar Games, the original Red Dead Redemption. And I think that its developers clearly agree with me, since a remaster is dropping right before the year ends, giving players the definitive way to experience John Marston's redemption story and welcoming a new generation of fans. So it is a nice opportunity to relive an all-time classic that is just as amazing as any GTA title and has a more mature touch to it, especially in terms of character development and story. Oh, and we must not forget that it is still one of the best open-world experiences out there.
So these are my recommendations to reinstall once in 2025. So tell me, what are the games you want to reinstall? Please comment down and have a good day and great health. See ya in the next video.